In this edition of the Spice Rack, we bring you seam ripping. We'll start by showing you a few examples. This is an extra large seam ripper. This seam ripper includes a magnifying glass, a retractable arm, as well as a light for those times when you need to rip seams and you don't have maybe as much lighting as you'd like. This seam ripper includes what I like to call a thread eraser. After ripping those seams, you have small little pieces of thread left behind. This helps to clear those out. This cool golden seam ripper includes a hanging loop, and a case to keep it nice and safe. This is a smaller seam ripper that's also great for travel because it folds. It's also very sharp, very handy. Check out that folding action. This seam ripper you would attach to a table. The bottom includes a suction cup. The handle activates the suction cup. You place the seam ripper down, and then you run your long seams across the top. This seam ripper looks like a hair clipper, but it's actually an electric seam ripper. This is great for those really long seams that you need to unsew. Time for some seam ripping. So let's see this in action. First, you want to open a couple of stitches with your seam ripper, and for this you insert the pointed end underneath one of the stitches, just enough to create a small opening. Now once you have that small opening, you'll use the little red ball on the seam ripper. You place that underneath your stitches, and you should be able to feel that with your fingers. Once you do, you're just going to firmly hold onto your fabric and push the seam ripper through. You should get nice, clean seams ripped. Let's try with the electric seam ripper. You'll want to hold your fabric open to make sure you're only cutting the thread, but once you're able to do that, you can go pretty quickly with this one. You're basically shaving away the threads. Let's try our seam ripper with magnification and light. To get started, I'll extend the arm and I'll rotate so that that red ball is underneath my seam. It works just like the other seam rippers, but gives you a few handy tools to help you. The golden seam ripper, it's my favorite. It's just handy to tuck away and keep next to my sewing machine. Now, if I'm traveling and need to carry a seam ripper with me to class, the foldable seam ripper is a great option because I don't have a cap or top or anything that I might lose. This larger seam ripper is really great for visibility, and also it's easier to hold. Once you've finished ripping all your seams, now you'll want to clear away your thread. And again, here's that thread eraser. That's it for now.